Also, the question and answer session will be available at the end of the day. If you have any questions, you can type them and send them on the question and answer section, and we will address them as we receive those. Or, of course, you're welcome to ask questions live on the spot as well. Moving forward, the next presentation is from Huawei, and we will be joined by Liang, Litao, Product Manager for Huawei Fusion Solar Middle East. And I believe you're ready, Mr. Liang. So I will hand over the presentation to you. The topic of the presentation is Active Safety, Better Experience, How to Achieve More Electrical Safety from Huawei Technologies, Middle East. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas Liang, Product Manager from Huawei Solar Inverter Department, and I'm based in Pakistan now. So, firstly, I'm sorry my colleague Rizwan cannot join today's event, so I will do the presentation. Let me share my screen firstly. So today's my topic will be optimal electric cost and active safety, Huawei Fusion Solar Residential Smart PV Solution. There will be 3 parts included in my presentation. Firstly, let me do some introduction about Huawei. As we all know, Huawei is a global leading ICT infrastructure and smart device provider, and our company vision is to bring digital to every person, home, and organization to build a fully connected and intelligent world. Huawei do the business all over the world, and now it's already cover 170 countries and regions. By now, Huawei has over 194,000 employees, and over half of them are R&D engineering. And according to the latest Fortune Global 500, Huawei has already been ranked at 49th place. As for the sales revenue, in 2019, the total sales revenue of Huawei business reached $122.9 billion. Compared with that of 2018, the growth rate is up to 19%. And in the first half of 2020, although the world's economy was seriously influenced by the COVID-19, Huawei still created over $5.7 billion, still in increased trade. As for our solar business, it belongs. Sorry, I will share my. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. And in the last 30 years, Huawei transformed from a tiny private company to a giant in ICT business, depending on the sustained investment on R&D department. Huawei has invested over 10 to 15% of its revenue into R&D department. And in the 2019, the investment has reached $16.8 billion. And furthermore, according to a report from the European Commission, Huawei has been ranked 5th in the 2018 Europe Industry R&D Investment Scoreboard, higher than some well-known companies such as Intel and Apple. And by the end of 2019, Huawei held more than 80,000 patents, including the first 5G chipset, also our AI-powered clean 980 chipset, also the first AI-powered modular modeling diagnosed for solar business. Our smart PV department belongs to digital power in Huawei, and there are some different product line in Huawei, such as the set power facility, the DC facility, also the N power and the modular power supply. All those product lines share the same platform of power electrical technology and ICT technology. In the solar industry development, Huawei plays a leading role. Based on a report from authority third-party institution, the average inverter shipment of Huawei stayed at the first place in the last 5 years from 2015 to 2019. And by the end of 2020, the cumulative global inverter shipment of Huawei has been reached 158 gigawatts. Furthermore, the shipment of string inverters steadily increased since 2016, and in 2018, the share of string solution exceeds 50% for the first time. And Huawei believes the string solution must be the mainstream in the PV industry. Huawei Fusion Solar Smart PV solution Huawei can provide a completed product to cover all the PV scenario from residential, commercial, and industry, also the utility scale. So today I will focus on residential solution to introduce Huawei Fusion Solar Residential Smart PV solution. And this year we launched our new single-phase and small three-phase inverter and second generation optimizer. By the end of Q1 2021, we will launch residential energy storage product in Pakistan. So now we have a more complete portfolios and can provide a total solution to customer with the benefits or values of optimal electric cost and active safety and better experience. This is an overview of a residential solution. The preceding figure shows the networking diagram, and the following describe some product portfolios. In terms of inverter, we have launched 226 kTl single-phase inverter yet, and 3 to 10 kTl small three-phase inverters. Those two inverters are both compatible with our second generation 450 watt optimizer. And both inverter it will deliver with the VLAN FE dongle, so customer don't have to buy extra unless he needs a 4G dongle. He needs to buy himself. And the single phase and the three phase parameters have been launched already. They are mainly used to implement zero power grid connection for your system. Our products still match our Fusion Solar management system, and our app for remote plant management, local deployment, and configuration. Yeah. Can you see my slides? I'm sorry.
Yes, we can see the slides, but it's still on the first slide. If you can just move it to slideshow, yes.
Okay. And our new product, Luna 2000 battery, both two inverters can match the battery. Our smart string ESS. The battery adopts a model design and uses a single energy storage system, including 5 kWh and 10 kWh and 15 kWh. a maximum of 2 batteries can be connected in parallel. We also launched the backup box B0 and B1 to compatible individual with single-phase inverter I1 and three-phase inverter M1. So the reason why we define the first value to homeowners is about optimal electric cost is that during the daytime, we have the optimizer solution to encourage the inverter to generate more power, even the module placed and installed on the complex rooftop with different orientations or shading scenarios. Optimizer can maximizing the power generation of the PV panels to output more power for the homeowners, which means the solution can generate more PV energy and for consumption during the daytime. And when the ESS system, including at home, additional power output from the PV panels can be charged into battery to supply the home partner consumption at home during the evening. Those two application scenarios can maximize the PV power consumption. This is why we can provide optimal electric cost to customers. And this is our optimizer. In traditional way, if a PV panel in the string is in the shadow, the overall energy yield will be affected. If each PV panel is connected to an optimizer, the maximum power point of each PV module will be tracked independently. The overall energy yield will not be affected. And up to 30% more yield can be brought by our optimizer to fight against the power mismatch by shading different osmos, different types. We set up a real practical comparison site on the rooftop. This system including 9 modules. One system is without optimizer, and the other one is fully equipped with the Huawei optimizer. Panels of both systems are installed in the 6th location and orientation. We just to make sure the comparison as objective as possible. We put some shading on the 2 system module and then observe the difference in energy use. You can see the result after 30 days operation. The full optimizer system generates average 10 to 13% more energy per day, and than the no optimizer system. So you can imagine if there's more shading, the gap between the 2 systems will be greater. Sorry, I think my slides still don't move.没有动。Guys, can you see my slide in a full screen?
Yes, I can see your slide, but it's not full screen. I can see that you've moved now to slide number 14.
Yes,
but I can see the other parts of the screen also, the PowerPoint background. It's not in full screen mode. There will be a button on the bottom to make it slideshow. Yes.
Maybe let me. Still no full screen.
No, on the bottom of the on the bottom right side of your screen, there is a zoom button plus minus. Next to the zoom, there is a small icon next to the minus sign. I think that is the one for slideshow. You can press that. On the bottom where there is the zoom, on the bottom right, there is the zoom plus minus. You will see next to the minus, there is a button. You can press that. Then the other side. Yes, one more.
Oh,
This one, yes, yeah. I think this should move you to slideshow.
no, no change.
Okay, I guess then we can just continue. You can just continue to move the slides manually, and we can see the slide. It's okay. There is just some other part of the screen, so maybe you can just move the slide manually.
How about my colleague? He may share the slide for me and 共享。Sorry, wait.
We can, yeah, no worries. We can see the slide and it's readable. So if you want, you can continue with the same. Just keep pressing next slide on each. You will just have to do it manually.
Yes, but from my side, it's full screen. I don't know why. My colleague Anna, he will share the screen and share the slides, and I will continue to the presentation.
Okay.
Can you see the screen now? Okay. So, guys, can you see the screen now? Anna is sharing his screen.
Yes, I can see the screen. It's still in slide mode. If you can press slideshow.
Okay. So our second generation optimizer can support the long string design for the PV panels installed on the rooftop. And in this picture, you can see there are 25 modules installed on the rooftop. Actually, the rooftop is very complex with different orientation. So if customer choose the traditional inverter and wants to maximizing the power, he may need two inverter to adapt to this scenario. And Huawei long string design can connect 25 panels in one string, use one single phase inverter or three phase inverter. Long string design can bring the very with long and flexible string design with the maximizing 200% DC in this DC racing oversizing. And you can see this this is our Luna 2000 battery. Our battery is a modular design, but we have given it a new name, Smart String Energy Storage System. So why do we call this light? It's mainly used to distinguish from the common modular design of some vendors. Because we have an energy optimizer inside each battery pack, which I will talk it later. So first, I will introduce to you the overall structure of our battery. The top of the battery is a power module, and the bottom is some battery pack modules. The capacity of each battery module is 5 kWh, That is, our minimal configuration can be 5 kilowatt hour and power module. So such a modular design is mainly for our customers' consideration. This is the advantage of flexible expansion based on actual requirements. And as I mentioned, there's energy optimizer inside each of our battery pack. And this is because the energy storage system could be expanded. The capacity expansion scenario means that the old battery module and the new battery module must be in the same model. According to the traditional method, the old battery must have attenuation during use. This, which means that the battery SOH state of health will decrease. For example, if the SOH of the new battery is 100% and the health of the battery pack become less good over time, and the SOH may reach 60% or 70% at most. That is, when the battery pack is fully charged, it cannot reach 100%. So when those batteries are mixed with our new one, with the old battery and the new battery, so during the charging process, the old battery will definitely affect the power charging of the new battery pack. So that's when we are charging together. The old battery is full, but because its SOH is only 60%, the system will stop charging and can no longer be charged. So I can only charge 60% of the new battery, but I still have 40% left. The result of the mix is that the new battery will not be fully charged. So this will affecting the system availabilities. By putting energy optimizer in each battery pack, in the future we can manage the charge and discharge of each battery pack independently. During the charge process, this concept is similar to the power optimizer on the PV module. When the old battery reached 60%, the new battery pack can still be charged to 100% of the SOH. This maximizes the power consumption of the entire battery system when the old and the new battery are maxed. In fact, many users are unaware of this point in the process. So in the future, we'll emphasize the limitation of the hybrid use of the old and the new battery to help the better understanding of the necessary of the energy optimization. This slide describes the basic feature of the battery. The first is about the installation. Because our battery are modular design, so for the installer, he can install the module one by one during the process. Our current design is a single battery pack of 50 kg. That also means it can be manually installed by 2 person without any other extra force. At present, any storage battery in the market are heavy. At present, energy storage batteries in the market are very heavy, especially those integrated energy storage battery. This is difficult for 2 person to carry them. The advantage of the modular design is that this is it's very easy to install by 2 person without the need for external tools. And for the installer, its overall installation cost will also be very low. And the other one about the depth of discharge. the current battery solution can achieve 100% DOD. This is if customer buy a 5 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the customer can use 5 kilowatt-hour power. It's a third amount of the power available. If you have paid attention to batteries from other manufacturers, it's claimed and actually battery capacity has a discount. The available battery level is not as high as normal level. This is one of our strengths. There's another one that we use mentioned. Both single-phase and three-phase inverter support two batteries in parallel, like the picture on the left. The two batteries can run in parallel if we analyze the available power and the charge and discharge power on the same. You can see the figure on the low right corner. The power module is in black and the battery pack is in white. Different battery configuration indicate different capacities, and the charge and discharge vary according to the available power. Currently, the charge-discharge rate is 0.5 C in our solution. That means the discharge and the charge of 5 kilowatt battery is 2.5 kilowatts. And if the battery level is greater than 5 kilowatt-hour, the power of the entire battery can reach 5 kilowatts. When two batteries are running in parallel, the power is planned to reach 10 kilowatts. If the inverter works with optimizer and battery, it has a good future, double power and battery ready. So what does that mean? Because our optimizer supports 200% oversizing, we can use the full optimizer and the long string design. For example, if a 5 kilowatts inverter is used, we can install a 10 kilowatts PV system on the rooftop to achieve 200% solar panel oversizing. Then the power of a 10 kilowatt PV module can be fully used without being wasted. Because the inverter supplied power to AC loads at 5 kilowatts full power and directly charge 5 kilowatts to the battery. In other words, even with super power this high, we could supply all the power to AC load and store the rest in the battery. This is also an advantage of our solution. It supports optimal cost and provide some power, more power generation and storage during the day. And you can see from this slide, the left side is a traditional inverter. The oversizing and the right side is our solution. The oversizing is up to 200%. And second part is active safety. There is always some hidden fail risk existing in the PV site. For example, the electrical arcing. So what is electrical arcing? It is caused by the high power electrical discharge between two conductors. During this process, it can generate heat, which can break down the wire's insulation and even cause electrical failure. However, the electrical arcing always occurs in our daily life. For instance, when we put plug into electrical outlets, sometimes we will see some sparks occur. According to actually the sparks is caused by the electrical arcing. In our PV site, there are several situations which always lead to the electrical arcing, such as broken PV cables and loosened PV connectors. Although the experts in the PV industry has a lot of research in this field, the arc detection still faces a lot of challenges. For example, the interface signal generated by the inverter load and the grid will have impact on the detection. Therefore, one of the challenges is that the fault detection rate is very high, reached over 90% in some solutions. However, Huawei involves the AI technology in the arc detection and successfully protect our PV set away from the arc problem. So what is Huawei FCI technology and how does it work? Let's see a short video. Firstly, inverter will do the self-learning about different arc filters. When the real arc happens, our inverter will do the arc detection locally based on its self-learning. And when the inverter will be shut down in 2.50 seconds. And the real-time alarm will appear in your measurement system and your app installed in your phone. And furthermore, there are two more experiments here. One operators when the FCI function is disabled. We can see the arcing continuous posting fair arcs. You can see this part side. And for another experiment, the FC function is enabled, and we can see the arcing distinguished in 0.5 seconds since the inverter is shut down, and the information of the alarm appears in the measurement system. And as we all know, the output voltage of panel is very high. It will cost alarm to person during the installation and maintenance. But with the fully optimizer, the output voltage of each module will be reduced to 0 voltage in below case during the installation and maintenance. So it will provide higher safety for installer, maintenance personnel, and even the firefighters. And currently, we can use the Fusion Solar app to implement the fast automatically detection. With the fully optimizer equipment solution. Our solution can detect the arc fault position, and it can provide a report to guide person to do the troubleshooting very easily. It will help OEM person save more than 80% on-site troubleshooting time and the cost. And this is a safety feature of our batteries. Our batteries are protected at 3 levels, starting from the cell level. Our electrical chemical cell using lithium ion phosphate, which is a safe, reliable, and stable chemical materials recognized in the industry. Each battery pack has 8 sensors installed. So here we can compare to our battery pack with those of our competitors. A 5 kilowatt hour battery pack has 3 modules, and each module has 8 sensors. So therefore, there are 24 temperature sensors in total. These temperature sensors are located in every corner of each battery pack to detect the operation in every every corner of the battery pack. Basically, every two electrical chemical cell has a sensor, so we can measure the temperature at the cell level, detects battery over temperature or electrical chemical cell imbalance in a timely manner, and reports results or false in time to prevent security risks. So compared with other vendors, Huawei has more temperature sensor in the battery pack. The second one, and the system level protection is implemented by modular design. When a battery pack or several battery packs are damaged, the system can automatically isolate them. Even if the battery pack is fault, other battery pack can still work properly, improving the overall working efficiency of the system. In addition, if our personnel replace or maintain this isolated battery pack, the battery pack will be automatically isolated and removed during the entire process. Therefore, there is no risk of electric shock. In the future, we will obtain the standard VDE 2510 certification also. This is a strictest standard in residential scenario to prevent overall reliability and the security of our solution. And power outages are still common in some areas. In addition to configuration of the PV modules, inverter and energy storage, we can also install backup box to connect key loads in the home, connect some loads that you want to continue work in case of power grid failure to the backup box. In this case, when the power grid fails, load connected to the backup box channels can continue to work through PV modules or storage battery. So people don't have to worry about the power outage. And third part is our solution can provide a better experience to our customer. As you can see, it's overall of our battery. It looks very beautiful, like the waterfall. Also, it's our inverter. It chooses the slink design and looks like the snowbergs surrounding the lake. And Huawei's overall solution adopted the one-fits-all concept to bring better experience to our partners. This is one-fit-all embodies different specs. Starting with the optimizer, one of our optimizer is adopted to all mainstream modular in the current market for residential use. For battery, our battery can use with both single-phase and three-phase inverter. In fact, there's not so simple. If you are interested, you can also go to the market. At present, few battery can adopt to both single-phase and three-phase inverter because its voltage operating range is often limited. Our battery can be adopted because it uses the power module design, which supports a wide operating voltage range. That's why our applications are supported. The other is our app. all devices in the entire user system, including the inverters, battery, and so on, can be configured using one app, remote monitoring, and the local commissions. And the one-fit-all feature enables the system to work in grid-tight mode and backup mode through the inverter, energy storage, and the backup box. The last point is that all our equipment comes from Huawei. For installer and the user, they can enjoy all the pre-sale and after-sale service, including market support and after-sale service. Only one service window of Huawei, compared with the common provider in the market. Battery and inverters are normally from different vendors. Huawei will not have unclear after-sale responsibility during the due to some issues. It brings great convenience to customer. No matter which part is fault, Huawei is responsible for the fault. And you can use the Fusion Solar app to detect all the Huawei device automatically, including the inverter, the battery, the smart meter, also our smart dongle. You can also identify the things with your mobile phone. It takes a short time, less than 40 seconds, to implement all the AI physical layout from the real rooftop into your mobile phone. This can also will help the customer to save more than 95% configuration time compared with other solutions. Application dongle is introduced in this box. Smart dongle is utilized to provide communication community in the whole site. One dongle can connect 10 device communication, and it can be plugged in the simple USB interface directly, and fit outdoor applications. And as we all know, the quick wear path and the diverse environment challenge bring higher O&M cost. So what are the quick wear paths? It including the fuse, which need to be inspected every 6 months, fan, which need to be replaced every 5 years. Also, the LCD and the buttons, which needs to be replaced every 6 or 10 years. This quick wear path increase the OPEX cost. Furthermore, the environment challenge also have negative effect on the PV site operation and the maintenance. This is a list of some environment challenge here, such as the higher temperature, the humidity, and the dust, and so on. However, Huawei inverter utilize there's no fuse and no quick wear path design, securing the inverter touch-free in O&M. And Huawei inverters high availability up to 99.96%, and the avenue failure rate is less than 0.5%. And those two numbers are tested by TV organization, and its report also available. Last but not least, the natural cooling technology is introduced in this slide. Huawei inverter used the refined heat skin fin design. The gap and the shape between the fins are different, which corresponds to the components in the inverter cavity. Because each component has different heat dispensing requirements, the feed design can meet the heat dispensing requirement of the different air, ensure the optimal heat dispensing performance. Also, you can see the visible power flow from our Fusion Solar app, and it can also achieve modular level monitoring when you use the fully optimizer solution. And the third part you can see is a summary of our residential product portfolio. We can provide inverter, the battery,